Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Homestead-Miami Speedway, as we are here for a great night of racing and qualifying action from one of the best mile-and-a-half racetracks we have on the circuit. Got ourselves qualifying here tonight, of course, for the Wawa 400 tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. We are very excited for that. It used to be the opening race of the season for the Wawa Cup Series. Got moved to the late March date to coincide with real-life NASCAR coming here this weekend. But tonight we also got the Top Dragster Open, their second race here from Homestead, and I know Andrew is going to cook with that one. Gonna let him cook. Here to qualify for the Wawa 400. Uncharted qualifying, top 5 advance on to the race, and the highest hot seat driver. The hot seat driver is already in the top 5. Then the 6th place driver advances on to the race. Darian Arnsdorf in the 11. This is a driver who has made 4 of the 6 starts so far this season. He has qualified very well in this Uncharted ride. And we'll see how well he does with the Grattan Autosport number 11. Grattan Racing Technologies has been on a pretty decent streak as of late. He got 3 wins on the season with Isaac Nichols, Drew Webb, and last week with Nathan Smith. Both of the Parker Davis cars have gone to victory lane already this season. Darian Arnsdorf sets the first time there in qualifying. Hot seat drivers for this week include Alexander Rowe in the number 14. Anthony Hernandez is going to be in the number 42 for Racing Motorsports. Matt Black going to be in the number 90 machine. And Matt Black got the win in the Sprint Series at Atlanta. I don't know if he got the win in the Sprint Series last night. He might have. Nathan doesn't really keep up with me on that one. I don't reference it at all anymore. Hey, he does a great job. Sprint Series is a lot of fun. Seeing how that whole cycle goes out. We got Nathan Meyer in the 91 machine for Evans Ross Racing. Whoa. That is not what you do in qualifying. Eric Monaco just got taken out by Haley Anderson Jr. down the backstretch. Keep in mind, we have no cautions in these qualifying sessions. We just run a practice session, and that is going to hurt Eric Monaco's chances of making this race, because he's not even going to get a lap in, and I don't think that 92 is going to get a decent lap in. That merge point became a very tough point of contention down the backstretch right there. Oh my goodness, that was wild. Fastest driver is Jared Martin in the 96. He's made 3 of the 6 races so far this season. Carson Miller has made 5 of the 6 races this season. He is second. Nathan Meyer is in. There goes Darian Arnsdorf to the 2nd position. J.R. Ribbleton is in currently, and Matt Black has gone to the top of the board. In the Appalachia hot seat, Jared Martin going right back to the top. Zayden Davidson has yet to get a time in. Same with Aaron Lukes, Johnson Jameson. Johnson Jameson just got a time in. And then, of course, Eric Monaco. So we'll see what Zayden Davidson can do. He has been in 5 of these races. He is 12th in the Wawa Cup Series point standing. He's only 51 points behind our points leader of Travis Crampton. This is the best car currently on this team. Or, I'm wrong. Avery Alford is 4 points ahead. I say these things and I'm wrong. Avery Alford's had a good season. Avery Alford's actually the defending winner of this Wawa 400, so watch out for him when we get to qualifying. He's going to be in Group B. Zayden Davidson got 3 hot seaters in the top 6. Only 1 hot seat made it last week. We got 3 of them right now. Anthony Hernandez and Alexander Rowe have moved themselves into the top 6. You got Carson Miller holding on to the last spot. You got the 82 machine of J.R. Ribbleton looking to make his first start since Daytona, I believe. I think he's only made the 1 start all season. Where is he? Yeah, he has only made the 1 start in the Daytona 500 this year. He is now holding on to that last spot. Jared Martin back to the top of the board, or he's still on the top of the board, I should say. Who got knocked out there? Carson Miller. Carson Miller actually went up in the 50 machine. It looks good for Carson Miller, but this is a guy to watch out for here. Zayden Davidson, he doesn't have much time to get this lap in. We'll see what he can do. Oh my goodness, he's going to barely knock out J.R. Ribbleton right there. Great lap there for Zayden Davidson. Will it hold on in these last 30 seconds? That's the big question. 3 of the hot seaters looking to make it on with Hernandez there, Matt Black, and Alexander Rowe. Of course, Alexander Rowe especially is a very solid driver, and, you know, while there aren't any, yeah, what did I just say? He just went to the top of the board here. Not that that does matter to which group you go in, if you're in an odd numbered position or not. And Alexander Rowe on the 14 machine. This is a driver who's won multiple Cup races in the past, of course, all in non-rating series. But this is a guy that's been around a long time. He's going to be in the 10th anniversary race. He's one of the many drivers that got invited. I think by now we have posted the list of drivers who have been invited to that race. You think I'd know what I'm doing right now. All the hot seaters are going to be in Group A, and then Jared Martin, Carson Miller, and Zayden Davidson are going to go to Group B here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And that will do it for Uncharted Qualifying. And we got ourselves Alexander Rowe, Jared Martin, Anthony Hernandez, Carson Miller, Matt Black, and Zayden Davidson racing their way in to the Wawa 400. J.R. Ribbleton, Nathan Meyer, Darian Arnsdorf, Aaron Lukes, Dylan Matthews, Johnson Jamison, Haley Anderson Jr., and Eric Monaco will all fail to qualify for this race. Let's go ahead and get on to Group A here for qualifying in the Wawa 400. And here we go for Group A for the Wawa 400 qualifying session. Of course, top three advance on to the Fast 6 shootout. And then those three, along with the three from Group B, move on to go for the pole. Start the inside lane here, of course, for Group A. For those who do not advance on, you had Brad Stover there in the 7-8, first driver out. Atlanta winner Isaac Nichols. I think we're going to see a lot of Isaac Nichols in these mile-and-a-half races this season. I think we're going to see a lot of Parker Davis Enterprises. As a matter of fact, the 2 mile-and-a-half races that we have had this season, Atlanta and Las Vegas, have both been won by Parker Davis Enterprises drivers. First last week was won by Nathan Smith. Isaac Nichols there in number 6. Got the win at Atlanta. The caution-free race, the only caution-free race outside of Coda, of course, that we have had this season. Tanner Parton in the 97. And I would like to address the pit road incident last week at Las Vegas. And I do want to apologize a little bit for the nature of his pit box being where it was. I definitely should have checked that beforehand. However, I will say, and I will attest to this, that Tanner Parton's issues on pit lane had nothing to do with the fact that that pit box was there and he got penalized. He got hit by Bartow, as you all saw in the race, going into the pit lane, and had to repair the damage, and that's what held him back. Of course, you can attest that the fact that his pit stall was where it was, he had to slow down a lot more than those guys coming behind him, caused him to be in that situation. But there was nothing that penalized him. He was still very much within the rights of his box there. I do apologize, though, for not checking that, and we will fix that for the future Las Vegas races that we do on the channel. Well, Las Vegas Motor Speedway and Chicagoland Speedway, there are 2 tracks where the front pit box tends to always have a slower stop than the rest of them. You may have noticed when we did the Truck Series race at Chicagoland last year that those pit boxes were moved back there. That's what we were attempting to do at Las Vegas. Duncan Ward still had a slow stop anyway from the second pit stall, so I don't know what was going on there. But always a work in progress. Been doing this for 10 years, and I'm still learning things with this game. And you always are learning things with this game if you do it as much as I do. Let's just put it that way. Well, Tanner Parton is fastest right now, and I'm sure he's happy about that. He's got a chip on his shoulder from what happened to him last week. Now, I say that, he got caught up in the wreck, so he probably would have gotten caught up in the wreck regardless. I think everyone got caught up in the wreck. Even our race winner, Nathan Smith, got caught up in a wreck. He actually caused the first wreck when he spun Trey Bartow around. That was an interesting moment. It led to the race victory for him. Matthew Hubert's got the fastest time now in the 15. Great run for Hubert here. This is a guy who has not been off to a good start either, and another driver we expected to run a lot better than he has. Of course, Hubert came so close so many times to winning races last year, never really got the chance to get it. He's with the Grattan Racing Technologies organization. He's with Team Velocitar, Matt Tuck, a driver, past driver in this series who knows how to do driver's ratings. But, yeah, Team Velocitar, they have been down bad to start this season. 29th and 31st in points coming into this one. However, this is their bread and butter, these mile-and-a-half racetracks, and we'll have to see how well Hubert and Paulus do here in the session. They are both in this session. Paulus, or should I say, Hubert is, well, Paulus is now the top of the board. I knew that was happening now. No, I actually did not know that was happening. And how about Daniel Paulus Jr. And this is a guy who definitely deserves to be higher in the points as well, and I think more so than even Hubert, because Paulus has that extra year of experience in the series. He has won a race before in the Wawa Cup Series, and he is gung-ho and ready to go. And I know there's been a lot of communication with Paulus and that team in how to best his craft here in the Wawa Cup Series. And right now, both the Team Velocitar cars are top 3, so I'm sure Matt's going to be happy about that. We're going to try to have Matt in the booth for the race tomorrow night. See if he is, in fact, available for it. Trey Bartow, he's got a chip on his shoulder. I know that much of getting spun out there at Las Vegas. And he has yet to get a top 10 this season in that 4 machine. And I think this may be another team that has left a lot to be desired, and I think they are so much better than what is suggested. But you got to keep in mind, the field is just so much stronger than it has been in past years here. And guys like Bartow, you know, they're good. Just a couple guys are just a little bit better in certain areas. We'll have to see, though, if Bartow can hold it on here. How about our points leader? And how about Duncan Ward and Brad Stover? All 3 of these guys got in the line with Bruno Diacomo and took away the top 3 from Paulus, Bryce Egan, and Trey Bartow. All just like that. Duncan Ward, again, looking to go back-to-back for the poles. Is he our Blaine Keys here for the Wawa Cup Series? We're waiting for that guy to go 5 in a row, like Blaine Keys did in the trucks last year. Brad Stover absolutely got a pull off of those guys, and he's going to go for the pole here, the way it's looking. Tires are worn out for a lot of these guys, and those faster times are not going to end up coming into fruition. But how about Travis Crampton, our points leader? I'd watch out for him as this race goes along tomorrow night. He is going to have a good shot at extending that, maybe even getting his first win of the season. Looking for his 3rd Wawa Cup Series win. He's got 2 of them in his career. Would like to also mention Bruno Diacomo, who he did not get a good run in that session, but he is 3rd in the points coming into this race. Watch out for Diacomo as the season rolls along, though. He did not get a good start. Will not get a good start for this race. 13th quickest in this session. A little bit all over the place there, but Travis Crampton, Duncan Ward, and Brad Stover are going to be going for the pole here at Homestead. Daniel Paulus Jr. will start 7th. Bryce Egan will start 9th. And then you got Trey Bartow starting 11th. Braden Perez starting 13th. Matthew Hubert starting 15th. Bernardo de Oliveira starting 17th. Kirsten Bell starting 19th. Andrew Miller starting 21st. Matt Black starting 23rd. Bruno Diacomo starting 25th. Anthony Hernandez starting 27th. LJ Semedo starting 29th. Alex Sanvitali starting 31st. Alexander Rowe starting 33rd. Tanner Parton starting 35th. Nicholas Sanvideo, not a good start for him. It's been a bit of a tough season for Sanvideo there. He's going to be starting 39th. Or 37th, excuse me. Isaac Nichols will start 39th. And Jesse Turner will start 41st. Go ahead and move on to Group B. See who joins Travis Crampton, Duncan Ward, and Brad Stover for the Fast 6 here from Homestead. And here we go for Group B from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And this is where you'll find the likes of Ludovic Charette and Blaine Keys here in this session. Of course, Blaine has been all over the place. He has not been one of those front runners that we have expected at this point in the season. And we're starting to really get into that part of the season where we expect certain drivers to be better than others, especially with that range in the ratings. Blaine has not necessarily been there yet. He doesn't even have a top 5 yet this season. We'll see. This could be a good racetrack for him in that regard. Of course, he has won here before. He was actually the runner-up in this Wawa 400 a year ago. Avery Alford is the defending winner of this race in the number 13 machine. He was driving the 52 for Harrisville Motorsports last year when he won this event a year ago. There's Logan Williams in the 95, 50 Cent himself there. If you know, you know. I did not forget it. I did not forget it. Logan Williams, though, has had a great season himself, though he did get caught up in that wreck last week at Las Vegas. He is definitely one to watch for as the season rolls along. His teammate, Sam Video, did not have a good run in qualifying. Okay, but Logan has definitely run well in a lot of these races. Of course, he won the pole at Phoenix. Comes into this race 6th in the championship standings, well within, well, not really well within. He's only 5 points ahead of the cutoff. There's 6 points ahead of the cutoff, but still. He's in the top 10 right now and has a lot more momentum at this point than he has had in the prior seasons of the Wawa Cup Series. Zachary Fitzwater fastest there. This is a driver, I tell you, I'm waiting for it to finally happen, for Fitzwater to finally get a Wawa Cup Series win. He has not had success at all in the rating series, and that's a shame because he's Zachary Fitzwater, and everyone knows him. And driving here, replacing Drew Webb, and that's a big step, that's a big shoe to fill there at Titan Fury. Of course, Drew Webb, the 2023 champion with Titan Fury Racing. Fitzwater has struggled this season, but we'll see how he ends up working out as this race goes along and the rest of the season goes along. I think he's with a much better team than he has been in the past. We'll have to see. Ends up working out for him. Carson Miller's got the fastest time in the 50 machine. I'm sure Nicholas is like, how come I didn't have that speed? Chris Carson Miller has been in all but one race so far this season there for Appalachian Motorsports. Lenovo Pro Series champion. And Caleb knew what he was doing when he signed him. It was a second pick in the Uncharted draft there, and he went ahead of the likes of Eric Monaco and Zayden Davidson. Both guys, of course, Monaco has won a race this season, and Zayden Davidson 12th in points. And Carson Miller has actually done a decent job. Of course, he's 27th in the points, but he has made a lot of these races, and that is a big step in that Uncharted battle. Those guys are technically competing against each other, though they are eligible for the Wawa Cup Series Championship if they find themselves in that position. Angel Gutierrez at the top of the board. He's actually been up there a couple of times in this session so far. He's got a good car in that 36 machine. Then you got the 3 of Justin Zeidel and the 52 of Philip Torres, the top 3 right now. Very unique top 3 right there, and not necessarily guys we'd expect to run in those positions. Jack Haas there, winner at Phoenix 2 weeks ago. So far has not found himself in a good position. And Blaine Ladovic, oh, there's Ladovic. Philip Torres just went to the top of the board. That's the car that won this race a year ago. And Philip Torres, you know, he's under a little bit of pressure there at the team. I hate to say it, but you know what? He's got an opportunity of getting something to go his way here tonight. And get a good starting position for tomorrow night's race. Logan Williams just outside the top 4. Jack Haas is 5th. Ladovic Charette is 6th. Drew Webb is 7th. Zachary Fitzwater, Blaine Keys, Zayden Davidson. It's Gutierrez and Philip Torres, and then Logan Williams now. Zeidel down the 4th. Still a great run for Zeidel, but got other guys that are trying to move their way into that fast 6. Jared Martin just did it in the 96. That was a fast lap out of Jared Martin, the Uncharted driver. Jared Martin has not had a decent. He's only been in 3 races up to this point, and there you go. There's Ladovic. There's Ladovic Charette, best qualifier all season. Best average starting position of any driver this season here in the Wawa Cup Series up to this point. And she would argue that she deserves to be the points leader, but Daniel Paulus Jr. had other ideas. And, oh, there we go. There we go. It has begun, I think. I keep saying that, I think. Oh, it's begun. When will Blaine Keys finally get good? Well, this may actually be it. And legitimately may be the time we see Blaine Keys finally get into rhythm here in the Wawa Cup Series. He's got plenty of time to do it as well. He sits 17th in the point standings, and he is, in fact, only 8 points behind the cutoff. That's how close it is around that cutoff in the standings right now. And you give Blaine a race victory, you give Blaine a pole, and he's gonna go with it. Laura Chung is 2nd quickest, and she's a driver who almost won Atlanta. And she's a driver who I expected to have some good runs, and she struggled a little bit as of late. She's now 13th in the points, though. Like I said, it's just so close from Logan Williams, in between Logan Williams and Nicholas Samadio there. That's 13 drivers. They are only separated by 14 points. So, they're all on each other. Samadio could jump Logan Williams, essentially, easily, if that ended up being the case. All right. Blaine Keys, Laura Chung, Ladovic Charette make the fast 6. Philip Torres will start 8th. Angel Gutierrez will start 5th. Will start 10th, excuse me. Justin Zeidel will start 12th. Yes, he actually will start 12th. Or will he? Yeah, he will. He is ahead of Jared Martin in the points. Jared Martin will start 14th. Logan Williams will start 16th. Nathan Smith will start 18th. Leonard Koshmer will start 19th. 20th. He'll start 20th. doing this off the top of my head. It's our Jack Haas will start 22nd. Christian Master will start 24th. Drew Webb will start 26th. Zachary Fitzwater will start 28th. Zayden Davison will start 30th. Carson Miller will start 32nd. Brian Webb will start 34th. Can't even do simple math. Rogel Norm will start 36th. Roberto Crown Jr. will start 38th. Thomas Troxel will start 40th. That's an interesting qualifying run. Our defending winner of this race, Avery Alford, will start 42nd. Yikes. Promise I'll get it a lot better when I call the whole starting lineup at the end there. Blaine Keys, Ludovic Charette, Laura Chung, they're going to join Brad Stover, Duncan Ward, Travis Crampton for the Fast Six. Let's get to it here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway of single car qualifying. And here we go for the Fast Six from Homestead. Ludovic Charette, she expects to be in every single Fast Six. And she actually has been in more Fast Six shootouts than anybody, I do believe, at this point. Of course, it's Ludovic Charette, Brad Stover, Laura Chung, Duncan Ward, Blaine Keys, and Travis Crampton going for the pole here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Of course, Duncan Ward going to go back-to-back. Ludovic Charette looking to get... Will it be her first pole? Did I close out score 4? It will... Yes, it would be her first pole if she got it. So we'll see if she does in fact get it. Across the line, 181 right there for Ludovic Charette. Going to minimize there. This is a very wide arching corner, of course, here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway 176. You're in that corner a lot more than you are at some of the other mile-and-a-half racetracks. Have that speed and that grip in the corner. Going to maximize 187 down the backstretch and going to minimize here 175. A bit of a low line as well. Ludovic Charette across the line. Going to be our first time. It's going to be 29.226 for Ludovic Charette here at Homestead. And Brad Stover next in line in the 78 machine. I believe this is his first Fast Six of the season. Really haven't talked too much about Stover. He has had a rather dismal season. 40th in the championship standings coming into this one, as far as I can properly recollect. And Durrani Racing as a whole has struggled this season. Of course, Andrew Miller had a great run at Phoenix 2 weeks ago, and yeah, we all know what happened there. Whereas Brad Stover, a great job in the group session to find himself behind some other drivers and really get a good pull and get a good lap in, and that's kind of the key to get a good lap in these group sessions, but he isn't going to be quite as fast as Ludovic right here. 173 is a minimum there in turn 1. Ludovic was going much faster that last lap around. Going to minimize 173, so not near as much speed in the corner there for Brad Stover, and this will be second to Ludovic Charette. Going to be a 29.503 for Brad Stover here in the 78 Homestead-Miami Speedway. Laura Chung in the number 20. Out to a pretty hot start here in the Wawa Cup Series, but struggled a little bit the past couple of races, though she is still very much in a good position going forward in this season. And looking to get another good run here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. That is going to be huge if she can get another top 5 and get herself back in the top 10 in the championship standings. The battle for the chase is going to be really, really good this year. I think there's 25 drivers that can make the chase this season. I legitimately mean that. And Laura Chung, of course, is one of those guys. And we'll have to see how well she does here in qualifying, trying to get to a 29.226 set by Ludovic Charette. Much faster there in the turns 1 and 2 for Laura Chung than we saw out of Brad Stover. Will it compare to what Ludovic did not too long ago? 186 there going in the turn number 3. And he's going to hold 175. It's going to be close. Very similar to Ludovic's time. Across the line for Laura Chung. It's a 290. Not quite enough to get to Ludovic Charette. Second quickest for the number 20. Here's last week's pole sitter, Duncan Ward in the number 23. Looking to go back-to-back on the poles. And we'll have to see if he can in fact do so. And you talked about Duncan Ward and how high up he is in the championship standings, 13th coming into this race, and he's been on the rise compared to some of these other guys. And this is the time of the season where you want to be on the rise, you want to start getting good finishes, because we're in that part of the season where we had Vegas last week, you got Homestead, Martinsville next week, Darlington's coming up 2 weeks from now. These are tracks where you have to be good at, especially Darlington, because that is the finale. Go there twice, You want to be good at Darlington Raceway come September. Or actually, it might be August this year. It might be August 31st. Well, either day, Labor Day weekend, Southern 500. This is a fast time. Some good speed there going in the turns 1 and 2. Will he be able to hold on to it in the turns 3 and 4? That's the big question. Of course, 175 is what the minimum speed was. Oh, he barely touched it. He's going to try to do it again. He's got a very good chance of doing so. Duncan Ward goes to the top of the board. 29.156 for the Team Williams driver. And here he is, the qualifying merchant himself, at least from the Truck Series last year. And really his first opportunity at going out there and going for a pole this season has not necessarily been the best of runs in these qualifying sessions. And I said a lot about it last year when the announcement was made that Blaine Keys was moving over to Pacific Racing, and I thought, not sure how that transition's really going to go. These cars are set up very differently than what he was driving last year, Racing Motorsports, and it's been a bit of a transition. Still a good season, but still, he's 17th in points, and I know Blaine's a driver who expects to be a little bit better than that. We'll see what he can do. Of course, Duncan Ward set that fastest time, 29.156. 175 there into the corner. Going to be a bit slower than what Duncan Ward said. I think it's probably going to be 4th quickest overall at this point. And we'll see, the long-term speed does go a long way, especially in the Wawa Cup Series, and Blaine Keys took advantage of that last year in a lot of the races he ran. I think that'll be the case for him this year as well in a lot of these races. 2.53 actually splits Ludovic and Laura, so that's 3rd quickest there for Blaine Keys. Still a good lap, though, and a good starting position for Blaine Keys. Let's get on to our points leader, Travis Crampton, last driver out there here in the Fast 6 shootout. And here we go for Travis Crampton, looking to extend his points lead by 1, trying to win the pole. It's either going to be Travis Crampton or Duncan Ward getting the pole here for the Wawa 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. This team has been excellent this year. NS Racing has found a lot of speed, even though they've yet to go to victory lane. They lead in the owner's title coming into this one here at Homestead, and Nathan's going to be really happy about that. And keep in mind, Nathan's the guy who's been around, Travis is the guy who's been around, Tanner Parton has done some excellent things for this team as well. Here we go for Travis Crampton and his flying lap here in the Fast 6 shootout. At 190 going into the corner right there. That's some serious speed out of the 98. This one's going to be close, I feel like. Tapped out a little bit there, 175. These NS cars do have a lot of speed in them. We'll see what he ends up hitting right there. Oh, that's not good. Not a good one, or not a good 3 and 4 for Travis, and that should seal it for Duncan Ward, and it does. It's a 2.95, that's 5th quickest. Duncan Ward goes back-to-back with the poles here in the Wawa Cup Series. Alright, that does it here for qualifying for the Wawa 400. A very interesting session nonetheless. And how about Duncan Ward? Back-to-back poles here in the Wawa Cup Series. And had 7 100ths there on Ludovic Charette. That was a pretty quick time out of that 23, and Andrews did it again. Team Williams. Andrew Williams, Team Williams. I wouldn't have that if it was Logan Williams who on the team. I'm sorry. Duncan Ward, Ludovic Charette on the front row. Blaine Keys, Laura Chung in row number 2. Travis Crampton and Brad Stover make up row number 3. And then you got Daniel Paulus Jr., Philip Torres, Bryce Egan, Angel Gutierrez, Trey Bartow, Justin Zidell, Braden Perez, Jared Martin, Matthew Hubert, Logan Williams, Bernardo de Oliveira, Nathan Smith, Kirsten Bell, Leonard Kochmer, Matt Black, nope, Andrew Miller. I told you guys I was going to do it right, and I didn't. Andrew Miller and Jack Haas, Matt Black and Christian Master, Bruno Diacomo and Drew Webb, Anthony Hernandez and Zachary Fitzwater, LJ Sameto and Zayden Davidson, I don't even know what I'm doing. Alex Aventali, Carson Miller, Alexander Rowe, Brian Webb, Tanner Parton, Rogel Nicholas Samadio, Roberto Crown Jr., Isaac Nichols, Thomas Troxel, Jesse Turner, Avery Alford. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 7 because the truck race, real-life truck race is here from Homestead. I'm looking forward to Friday night truck series at Homestead again. That was always such a vibe. Talk about aura before it was really a thing. that's what Aura was the Truck Series finale at night in November. We're going to get a Truck Series night race. I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to have the Wawa Cup Series night race here from Homestead as well, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. Stay tuned for the Top Dragster Open here from Homestead in less than half an hour, probably. About that top of the hour, we got the Top Dragster Open here from Homestead for the second race of that great event. We're looking forward to it here. Some great racing here from this Homestead-Miami Speedway. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, congratulations to Duck and War for winning the pole, and I will see you guys later.